Well, this little wren has started to become my regular visitor, and he's not bothered about where I am at all. He just hops around, keeping an eye on me. Hello, little one. Well, there seems lots and lots to catch you up on since I've last been videoing in the garden. I started to take all of these rope edge tiles round to the back in preparation for clearing up this piece that's outside my sitting room, because I found somebody who could replace the fence, and so I'm going to hopefully get the fence replaced and then do some replanting, and that'll tidy this end up really nicely. Well, it's good to get them round the back now, so they're out of the way, because I've got a gentleman coming who's going to be replacing my front fence. He's called Peter, and I'm just hoping that it's going to be a dry day, because yesterday it never stopped raining the whole day. But it filled my pond right up to the very top and overflowing. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for dry weather while he's here. Now that that's all done, the next thing is get all the old greenhouse frame down to the skip. What a difference this is going to make. I'll be able to see the wood for the trees. But definitely a major step forward has been to get the rest of the greenhouse down and all of the aluminium away, and even all the glass. It's now gone. Well, things are moving forward in the front garden today. I've got a lovely gentleman called Peter here. Hi Peter, do you want to give a wave? Peter's come to replace my fences. So he's taken the old ones down and he's going to be putting new ones up. So at long last my front garden is going to look a lot better than it did a couple of months ago. Hooray for that. Peter did an absolutely beautiful job with my front fence, and I'm over the moon with it. I wasn't quite sure whether I'd paint it and then repaint my gate so it all matched. But at the minute I'm going to leave it as it is and maybe just repaint my gate to match my front door or something like that. The next day Wendy came over and helped me, and we actually dug out the whole of the big Photinia. The soil all got dug over, and I've added some compost, some peat-free compost and some manure. The soil was really bad. It was so dry and compact. It had no body left to it. Well, that's all dug over. I've added compost, I've added manure. I'm now on the nice thing of arranging my plants back in. So I've got a combination of ones I've just got over the last week or so, and ones from my holding area, and I'm going to be mixing and matching, bringing things through from the back if I feel there's room for them. Well, I think I've got a bit of an arrangement going. I've got a beautiful Philadelphus called Virginal that's going to go into the corner. This lovely hydrangea is called Magic Pillow. It's actually a ground cover hydrangea, which I've never seen before. It's hydrangea serrata, and it's not going to get more than about 18 inches to 2 foot tall, I think, but it's going to spread along the ground with some runners. I'd be quite happy if it's spread along here, definitely. I have a rose to go in, but I'll need to go and get my rose food to plant that. It's a hybrid musk called Moonlight. I don't know much about it, but the scent of the one flower I saw on another plant was absolutely gorgeous, so I'm taking a chance on that one. And the others are just sort of, I think I've got them in the place, but we'll just see how I get on. It's going to look different from the big Photinia, that's for sure. It's the next morning and I am just finishing off planting the sitting room side of my front garden, and it just occurred to me that the box pyramid that I dug up from the back garden might have just gone in here, because I have a box on the other side. Her box is looking a bit worse for wear at the moment. I think it's maybe been scorched with the hot dry weather, but I've got this one here that I pruned when I started the front garden, so I thought if I put it on the other side, that's the idea anyway. and after that it's going to be a great big tidy up. Well, that's taken some digging up, but at least it's going to make a big enough hole for the box. I'll just put that to one side. I haven't dug under here for, well, probably 20 years. I haven't changed the front garden in all that time. Oh, I don't think I've got too bad a hole. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and then try it in for the shape. Try it for size again and then put some fertiliser and some manure in for it. Well, I think it is going to look good there. I just need to get it square onto the path and a bit more upright. I'll give it a clip now to help it get its shape back, and then a good water and keeping my fingers well and truly crossed. I've started to get a good shape, but it's absolutely pouring down. So I'm going to leave it for there, just tidy up. It's actually been 2 days since I could film you the finish of my little front garden piece, because it has absolutely non-stop rained this whole last weekend. And so I've clipped it to get it more square with my path. But I think it looks good there, especially now it's opposite the other one that I have on the other side. So anyway, my little front patch I'm really happy with. It's looking so much more colourful than it did with the big old Photinia. And the Joseph's Coat Rose, I've cut it right down to the bottom in the hopes that it will come back up. So it is in the back of there. So the plants that I've recently bought specially for this little makeover, all things that I've moved. So a Weigela there, that black Weigela, it's called Ebony and Ivory. That came from the other side of the front garden and it's got transplanted. The anemone and the geraniums have been on hold in the back garden. I've got this rose in. This is a hybrid musk rose. I thought I'd put it there thinking that if the possibility that the escallonia doesn't come back, I can cut that out and the rose can take over the room. I've got lovely echinacea in. This is wild berry. It has such a beautiful colour. And this one's called green twister. And the only thing really is that it feels so open to me at the moment, because the Photinia sort of was quite enclosing. So I'm hoping that Philadelphus that I've put in the corner is going to put, you know, at least another 2 or even 3 feet on within the next year or so. That would be nice, because at the moment it feels quite exposed. But it's very pretty and everything's going to grow, and it's a heck of a lot tidier than what it was. And so here's the other side, which obviously still needs a bit of work on, but a lot of this can wait until the autumn when things have stopped growing. If you're wondering why your mop bucket's in my front garden, it's their water for the birds. That's why there's stones and rocks in it, so anything can have a drink and they won't fall in and drown. It just holds a good amount of water for the birds. And because I've taken the big Photinia down, which is where they all like to sit before they came to the bird feeders, I've put 2 of the branches back in for them to perch on. And I've also used a pile of logs in the back, and that's because I know there's at least 1 toad in the front here, and so he'll have a nice hibernation space under there too. In the meantime, in the back garden, I have managed to get the 4th vegetable bed in. However, the butterflies were still creating havoc, and so I found a company called Quick Crop. I bought these hoops. What I liked about it is that they were coming ready cut to the right size. They're really stiff to put together though. Put them in water for a few minutes to soften the ends, and then they've sort of made a really tight fit which will be nice and sturdy. Just need to cover them with some insect net. This one's already done and it's working a treat. I even managed to get the path done here. I've got a big route to axe out down the back of the polytunnel, so that'll be my next bit to do before I can finish off covering all the pathways. My goodness, the polytunnel is like an absolute jungle and it's absolutely wonderful. Today I'm actually going to harvest the very first of the tomatoes. Mine are a bit late because I didn't actually put them in until the end of April. It feels as if I've waited a long time. Just dropped one there. I'll have to look for that one. Oh, there it is. Keep taking the lower leaves off a bit to let the light and the air get in. Decided to have a big tidy up in here because there were some what I would call volunteer tomato plants, so ones that just came up that I didn't plant but that just were in my compost and what have you. And although I was just letting them grow, really I think they should just be gone, and so I don't want the bottoms of my tomatoes to be too closed in. So I've been taking the leaves off from the bottoms and taking out these volunteer plants. They're just crowding the place up. I don't need the more extra tomatoes. I'm getting a great harvest this morning. Beetroot, little turnip, the first broad beans that I've got off, and a cucumber. I have to say the little cucumbers are being great and it's really prolific. Definitely going to grow that one again. Although I have had a slight disaster with my tomatoes because I put the plate on the chair and then forgotten I sat on them. So I've got three squashed tomatoes that I'll need to eat up straight away. What a dafty. Also, back in the depths of the polytunnel, I hadn't even realised that my mange too had grown enough to get some off. So I'm going to pick some of them as well. It's going to be a harvest day and a half here because I'm also going to unpot the first of the potatoes. Also, I've got this lovely pretty pink flower coming up from the edge of soil between the raised bed and the edge of the polytunnel, and that is soapwort. That's a really nice plant. I did used to have it in my garden as just a flower in the borders. I haven't seen it for years, so goodness knows how it's just decided to come up in the polytunnel. But it's a good plant, so I might just try and save that later on when I'm clearing out. Well, so far it's been a really good harvest day here today, and it's not going to stop. So I'm going to take my chair out, my big bucket, and I'm going to tip out the first bag of potatoes. I know mine are a bit late. It's because everything went in late. I didn't start digging out this garden until the middle of April, and so everything has been done and grown since then. So I'm just over the moon that I'm getting a harvest at all. I'll go straight to the potatoes now. It's going to be exciting. There's nothing better than getting your own potatoes out of the soil. This is the first one I'm going to do. I actually took the leaves off here before I went away to Birmingham for the weekend, and I put these in on the 17th of April, which was the day after I had my bit of garden revelation about changing everything. I brought my chair and my big yellow bucket to turn it into, so I'll just get it set up and hope for the best. Keep my fingers crossed. I've got another bucket here to take some of the compost. I'm going to have to be a bit quick now though, because it's actually started raining again. We've had so much rain this past week. Just take all this excess off. This will be good for the rest of my veg beds. Oh, first one. Oh, look at that. Oh, and a titchy one as well. Oh, I love them, I love it. I'm going to put them into my little old egg basket as I harvest them. Just put that down to one side. So I'll put that to one side for the compost heap. And there's the other one. I had two seed potatoes of Lady Crystal in here. Oh, here we go. Oh, gorgeous. Do you know, it takes me back to when I was very little. The first gardening type memory I can even remember is helping Grandad get the potatoes out of the garden soil for the Sunday dinner, because we used to go there as a family every Sunday, and oh my goodness, look at them. This is lovely. It's like magic, isn't it? You put 2 potatoes in and you get tons out. Here we go. Don't want to put my trowel in yet because I don't want to steal any. Oh, even the little widdly ones can come out. Oh, we're getting to them now. Just I'll clear out some of the soil. I should have my gloves on, shouldn't I? I'm going in to sow after this. I never learn. That's because I quite like the feeling of the soil on my hands. This beats unboxing of an electrical something that you don't need. Right. Oh, look at all the bigger ones now. Wow. They're clean as can be as well. There's not a mark on them. Just put the basket there so I can put the stuff in. I have to go through that soil again as I put it down onto the veg beds so I don't get little potato plants coming up next year. Even the little no tiddly ones left behind. I've raked around here and I can't even find any tiddlers. I think I've got them all. That's it. That's a good harvest. Look at that. I'm going to put the whole harvest together so you can see it. Well, I think that's an absolutely marvellous garden harvest for today. And I'm going to enjoy eating the potato, just everything. I'm going to enjoy eating everything. But I've got a squashed tomato because Dafty me sat on them. So there's nothing for it. I just have to eat it straight away. And that's what I'm going to do. As I say, bye everyone. And thanks for stopping by Marion's garden. And I hope you come back again and see what else is going on. In the meantime, this is my first tomato of the year. Even though I sat on it and squashed it, it's going straight in my mouth. That is the absolute best. Bye everyone.